Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman was the first Democratic senator to visit Mar-a-Lago, and he says he's committed to working alongside Republicans, but can he find a middle ground with an administration that has spent the first week in power destroying Democratic Party policies? And, let's say, he's a little shaky with democracy. I believe it's only been a week since the former president has retaken office. You were there at inauguration. He's been attempting to flex his power. But are you surprised by anything? I didn't even see what that was.
He was wearing a similar outfit at the inauguration, and you looked great.
I totally feel you.
It's not every day you see a U.S. senator step into the lion's den of a talk show, but John Fetterman did just that, coming prepared on The View. Known for its fiery debates, the show saw Fetterman tackle everything from January 6th to his meetings with Republicans, even addressing rumors about his shift to the right. Whether you love him or hate him, Fetterman doesn't dodge tough questions. He's sparking conversations. Some see him as shaking up the status quo in a positive way, while others criticize his connections to Trump's circle and his involvement with Truth Social. Fetterman's recent moves have ignited debate. To some, he's seen as a bridge builder, while others view him as a traitor. In today's political climate, where loyalty to party lines often dictates public perception, Fetterman is taking heat from both sides. When pressed by the hosts, he didn't back down, firmly addressing the chaos of January 6th, standing by his democratic values and drawing clear lines about where he stands. What's really going on with Fetterman? Is he playing a strategic, smarter game, or is this a risk he won't be able to recover from? It's time to unpack what he had to say.
Okay, I get you. But are you surprised at anything you've been seeing, or do you anticipate that there's going to be changes that we should be prepped for that we're not thinking about?
Honestly, I haven't been surprised by anything now. He's been doing essentially what he actually campaigned on that. Mm-hmm. He announced he is going to pardon the J6 individuals. He is going to absolutely go after the border. So there's a lot of things that he's already ran on. Criticized a lot of it, and I don't agree with everything either, but it's undeniable he actually ran on that and been really upfront.
On January 6th, 2021, former D.C. police officer Michael Fanone narrowly survived a brutal attack while defending the Capitol. Beaten, tasered, and suffering a heart attack, Fanone's survival is a stark reminder of the violence that day. Now, he's one of the most vocal opponents of pardons for the rioters who attacked him and his fellow officers. His words carry the weight of someone who endured the chaos firsthand, expressing anger at political leaders who abandoned justice. All these people that said they had our backs ran for the hills. Fanone recently said, frustrated by the lack of accountability, when John Fetterman was asked about Fanone's remarks, he didn't hold back. Fetterman began with empathy, acknowledging the pain and trauma Fanone and other officers endured. "I've had a stroke. I get it," Fetterman said, drawing a parallel between their health struggles and the lasting impact of January 6th. But he didn't stop there. Fetterman strongly condemned the insurrection, calling any attempt to pardon the rioters not only unacceptable, but an insult to democracy. For Fetterman, the stance on January 6th attackers is non-negotiable.
Early on, immediately after the election, I was like, hey, we have a choice. We can freak out and follow every other thing around, like a cat, with a laser after everyone. But I'm not that guy. I'm not going to be that Democrat. For me, there's things I'm going to agree with, I'm going to disagree with, but I'm in the business of finding wins for Pennsylvania and for the nation, and engaging the president. I think I see that as doing my job.
In a time when some are eager to move on, John Fetterman is standing firm, refusing to let those responsible for January 6th escape accountability. However, lately, he's been facing criticism from the left. Critics point to his decision to join Truth Social, the Trump-backed platform, and his visits to Mar-a-Lago to meet with Republican leaders as signs of a political shift. Some even question his loyalty to the Democratic Party. Add his stances on hot-button issues like immigration and fracking into the mix, and people are wondering if Fetterman is leaning to the right. But Fetterman isn't backing down. When confronted with these accusations, he made it clear he hasn't changed. He emphasized his unwavering commitment to core democratic values, pro-choice, staunch support for LGBTQ rights, and a strong, fair immigration system. For him, these principles are non-negotiable. Regarding his Mar-a-Lago meetings, Fetterman argued it's about dialogue, not division. He believes engaging with the other side is crucial, especially in today's fractured political climate. "I'm not compromising my values," he said, "but I am willing to have conversations." His defense is straightforward. He's not shifting, just seeking understanding.
Well said. And I wanted to ask you, so you went down to Mar-a-Lago and met with the president, and he actually was singing your praises after. He said you were fascinating, impressive, a common sense person. I agree with him on that. Not a liberal or a conservative. I'm curious what your takeaway was from meeting with him, and what, if you found that there's any specific policy areas you think you can work with him on.
Yeah, well, I think overall it was a positive experience. I mean, he was kind, he was cordial. It wasn't in any kind of theater. It wasn't trying to get your picture taken to kind of put something out on social media. It was just really a conversation. I actually spoke for over an hour.
John Fetterman's votes and actions have sparked debates on both sides of the political spectrum, with critics questioning his approach. Recently, he aligned with fellow Democrats to reject Pete Hegseth's nomination for defense secretary, citing concerns over his qualifications. However, Fetterman also voted in favor of candidates like Kristi Noem and Marco Rubio, showcasing his willingness to cross party lines when he believes a nominee is qualified. This pragmatic approach, which emphasizes evaluating individuals over sticking to party labels, has earned Fetterman both respect and criticism. Looking ahead, Fetterman is preparing for hearings on two of the most polarizing nominees. Tulsi Gabbard and RFK Jr. speculation has surrounded his stance. But Fetterman has made it clear that he won't make a decision until after hearing from the nominees directly. For him, this isn't about playing politics, it's about keeping an open mind. Fetterman believes conversations, even with controversial figures, are vital for making informed decisions. "I don't regret talking to anyone," he said, defending his approach. Whether it's Rubio or RFK Jr., he's committed to listening before casting his vote. Fetterman's actions reflect a shift away from blind partisanship, but they also raise questions about where the line is between compromise and principle.
You did get a lot of criticism for it from some people who thought you going to Mar-a-Lago gives cover to Trump by creating the solution that he's amenable to working with Democrats. I was very supportive of when people like Mitt Romney and Rob Portman worked with Joe Biden, so I understand the need for bipartisanship. I didn't love the optics of you going to Mar-a-Lago. He was going to, which is his palace. He was going to be in Washington a week later. But what was your goal, and do you feel ultimately you were successful?
Well, here's what happened. I was being lazy on the couch like Friday night, and my team reached out saying, "Hey," and I don't know if this is like a trolling or a hoax, but they extended an invitation.
John Fetterman has made one thing clear: he's not afraid to engage with anyone. Whether sitting down with Republican leaders or controversial figures, Fetterman believes open dialogue is crucial for making informed decisions. For him, it's not about agreeing with everyone in the room. It's about hearing different perspectives and challenging his own assumptions. "You can't make real progress by shutting the door on half the country," he said. These conversations, he claims, have been eye-opening, helping him better understand the issues at stake. Fetterman insists it's not about ideological compromise, but about finding solutions that work. He sees value in this approach, especially in today's deeply divided political climate. However, not everyone is convinced. Critics argue that these meetings give the impression of ideological drift, fueling speculation about Fetterman's commitment to democratic principles. Fetterman pushes back against these claims, stressing that transparency and fairness guide his decisions. "I haven't changed my values, and I'm not going to," he said. For him, talking with those who disagree isn't a weakness, it's a strength. His stance challenges the idea that bipartisanship equals betrayal, sparking a debate about what true leadership looks like in these polarized times. Fetterman's actions have ignited a firestorm of debate, both in the media and among the public.
And overall, my wife was there, and she might be watching right now at home. Hi, Giselle, if you're home. And she was there as well, too, and we just had a conversation. And one of the things, can we agree on? Well, one of the things that was easy, like the Dreamers, the Dreamers, immigration, that. And Giselle was part of that community, and we both had the opportunity to express that. I would also, I'm on the Ag Committee, and I think protecting the SNAP as well, too. Food insecurity is really important issue. And some people on that side wants to go after that or weaponize that. So for me, those are kind of issues. Other things that we can agree on as well. But overall, it was just a straight up conversation, and I just have a rule. Like, I'm going to engage and have a conversation. That's anyone playing it straight, and that's be doing my job again.
To some, John Fetterman's outreach to Republicans and his independent thinking on appointments signal a refreshing pragmatism. Supporters see him as a bridge builder, someone prioritizing solutions over party loyalty. They argue that his willingness to engage across the aisle is exactly what's needed to break through the political gridlock that has stifled progress in Washington. However, not everyone is convinced by his approach. Critics, particularly from within his own party, accuse him of straying too far from core Democratic values. His decision to join Truth Social and meet with Republicans at Mar-a-Lago have sparked sharp criticism, with some questioning his loyalty to progressive ideals. Among the more vocal detractors, there's even speculation that Fetterman's actions could weaken his standing as a Democratic leader. The big question is how these decisions will impact Fetterman's political future. Will his independent streak earn him respect as a leader who values principle over partisanship? Or will it alienate progressive supporters who see his actions as a betrayal? Fetterman's choices have placed him in a delicate position, one that could ultimately redefine how he is perceived both within his party and by the voters who put him in office. During his appearance on The View, Fetterman made one thing clear: he is committed to his party. Despite facing criticism from both sides, he firmly stated that he has no intention of switching to the Republican Party. "I'd make a terrible Republican," he joked, pointing to his progressive stances on issues like pro-choice policies, LGBTQ rights, and immigration. These values, he emphasized, remain central to who he is and what he stands for. Fetterman also pushed back against the narrative that his recent decisions signal a rightward shift. He urged critics to focus on his voting record, which he argues reflects a steadfast commitment to democratic principles. His decisions, he explained, are not about pandering or compromising. They're about doing what he believes is right for the country. To those questioning his strategy, Fetterman's message was clear: judge him by his actions, not by speculation or headlines. He argued that his consistent support for progressive policies speaks louder than any rumors or misunderstandings. By the end of his appearance, Fetterman made it undeniable that he is not wavering in his beliefs and is not afraid to face criticism if it means staying true to himself. Fetterman addressed the claims of a political shift head-on, reaffirming his loyalty to democratic values like pro-choice policies, LGBTQ rights, and a strong immigration system. He urged critics to focus on his voting record, not the speculation surrounding his actions. His emphasis on bipartisan engagement highlighted his belief in the need for open dialogue in today's deeply divided political climate. Fetterman's approach challenges traditional party lines and sparks a broader conversation about what leadership should look like in modern politics. Is John Fetterman a bold leader unafraid to navigate the middle ground? Or is he taking a risky path that could alienate his base? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to share this video to keep the conversation going.